Today I'm going to review Machine Platform Crowd, Harnessing Our Digital Future by Andrew McAfee and Erik Brynjolfsson, also authors of The Second Machine Age, which I just reviewed. So I liked the last book these guys wrote. I thought it was a really good coverage of technology and where things are going. And it was pretty decent. And so I had some pretty high expectations for this book. They wrote a successful technology book, so I thought, all right, you're going to write a new book. Seems to be a little more business related. Maybe you're going to talk about how all these fancy new technologies will impact businesses. And then, that could be an interesting book. Maybe not the thing I'm the most interested in the world, but it's a valid market. A lot of people want that book, so probably a good move for him to write that book. But when I got into the book, what I found was that most of this book's not really about new technology at all. It's about old technology. So of the three things in the title page, we have machine, platform, and crowd. Only machine talks about the new stuff, the AI and automation, and some of the stuff from their last book. The platform and the crowd part of the book is really old. It's just the internet. Platforms have dominated the internet for a long time. There's been other books written on it. And the crowd portion of the book is like crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, which has been covered already. Everybody knows about it. Kickstarter, Indiegogo. These are really old systems. They're not old, but they're old for the internet, at least it seems. So, it's kind of a disappointment that this book is kind of a dated book as far as the technologies that are covered. So after I got over my initial disappointment and the topics covered, started reading it, and it's not bad. It's a pretty glossy business book. It's not covering new topics. It's not covering new technologies. It's not even covering new things for these two people, because they've already covered all the AI and automation stuff in their last book. So it's not really forging new ground, but it does put things together pretty well. And the alternative to reading this book would be to read a couple other books. So as far as platform, there's actually another book I got here, Modern Monopolies. I will review this in the future. It's a pretty good book. That book is entirely about platforms and why they work. So that element of this book, completely irrelevant if you've read that book or you plan to read it, because it's a much briefer coverage in this book. And as far as crowdsourcing, unless you're new to the internet, you don't need to know anything about that. You can crowdsource ideas. They use a dated example of Linux. Everyone knows about Linux and Linus Torvald and how it got started. So there wasn't really anything new there. There wasn't really anything new in the machine. So, there's nothing new in the book unless you're absolutely new to the topic. So really the only person I can think of that I would recommend this book to is someone that hasn't read anything on the subject, but is interested in the business applications of technology. And that's really it. That's the only person who's going to get anything valuable out of this book. And it seems like what happened with these guys is they came out with their last book. It was really successful. They put a lot of work into it. And then they got some new promotions. They got some publicity. And then they churned out another glossy business book targeted towards MBA people going into management, which really, it's not very interesting for me, but maybe there's a few people out there. So it's not bad, but nothing new. Nice glossy read, but if you're watching this channel, if you're looking at my other reviews, if those are the types of books you like, then this probably isn't going to be the book for you. It's something for middle managers to read. I hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe. I got some more book reviews coming. I think my next book review is actually going to be a book on economics, The Rise and Fall of American Growth. I've been rereading that book. It's a book I really enjoyed. It's a little bit of a divergence from what I've been reading lately, so it's good to get into that. Also, I'm currently reading a book called The Fourth Age, which is turning into a really good book. And so as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to do a review on that one as well. Though Christmas is coming up, so I might not have something for another week and a half or so. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.